Hi everyone, this is Shelby Novak again, and I am here to talk to you about the Alaskan Tlingits. They are an American Indian tribe of coastal Alaska. This tribe, as I said, originates from the southeast coast of Alaska, and you can see on the map to the right where they've originated from. And records have shown that they have been around for more than 11,000 years. The Tlingits are known for their elaborate ceremonies. These ceremonies include the 4-day-long potlatches that they celebrate for funerals and for births and marriages and giving of names. This tribe is also very well known for the totem poles that you can see scattered all throughout Alaska. And traditionally speaking, this tribe was mostly a fishing and a gathering tribe with hunting as supplement. A traditional Tlingit village was the basic social unit of a Tlingit tribe, and they had two different types of homes. During the winter months, they were a very permanent-based group that spent their time weaving baskets and curing meat, that type of stuff. And then in the summertime, they would spend more time at what they would call their summer camps for fishing and hunting, mostly fishing because they are so close to the coast. And that's where they got a lot of their food, was from the sea. They relied heavily on halibut and seals, salmon, and just about any kind of fish that they could find. And then hunting was a supplement to their diet, but they also used hunting as a way to gain fur for trading, and they would trade with European settlers and those travelers from Russia as well. And the picture on the right is a drawing of what would be a Tlingit summer fishing camp. And then you can see the big canoe that they have, and they fish in groups. They don't fish alone. They're a very united tribe in that they spend a lot of their times in groups. The Tlingits have a lot of traditions that they like to pass down from generation to generation, and these traditions have still stuck with those Indians of today. One of the big traditions is the respect for the land and all creatures of the earth and water. They don't permit waste, and by that I mean they don't hunt or kill an animal without using everything that they can. They'll use the bones and the hide for all sorts of different things. They don't like to waste anything because the Creator has given them this animal, and they're going to use everything that they can. They also have a very unique social organization, and by that I mean when a husband marries his wife, he will move in with the wife's family rather than the woman moving in with the man's family. And then any children that they have, the females will stay with the family, and the males will move in with what would be their new wives' families. And that's kind of unique to tribes because most of the time it's reversed. They would go and live with the man's family. And then also, oral tradition is a very prominent tradition throughout the Tlingit tribe. They refer to the raven in the creation story as that the raven was the creator of all things. So the raven created humans, it created the land, it created everything. And that's kind of what the picture on the left symbolizes, was the raven in the creation story. The cultural artifact that I wanted to talk about was the totem pole, and this is a symbol of the Tlingit tribe, and it's something that if a person were to travel to Alaska, they would see these scattered across the landscape. And I just wanted to share a little bit about the story behind the totem pole. Traditionally, totem poles were made of large cedar trees, and the Tlingit tribe referred to the cedars as majestic cedars. And they wouldn't just use they would use every part of the tree that they could, because traditionally these are majestic and they don't want to use waste. So with the bark of the cedar trees, they would actually weave that into their clothing and into hats. So they, like I said, they don't like to waste anything. There were certain ceremonies for totem pole raisings, and the reason that a family or a tribe would make a totem pole was to share a story and to kind of show off what they have accomplished, or something that they have done, or their wealth, or a spiritual story that they have, just all sorts of different things. But it was a way to share stories with other people and show that each family has something special about them. Totem poles are still carved today, and there usually are authentic totem poles that use native chief carvers, and then he will have many apprentices help him. And then today, a totem pole can cost over $60,000 to make just one. But they're really elaborate, they take a lot of time. And then I wanted to share a little story about the lowest man on the totem pole. Somewhere along the line as a society, white people have referred to the lowest man on the totem pole as the weakest link or the newest member. And then when you're referencing totem poles that a tribe would make, this is actually the opposite. The chief carver or the main carver would actually carve the bottom part of the totem pole, because this is what most everyone can see. They can see the elaborate detail in the lower 8 feet of the totem pole, as opposed to the top where you would have the apprentices, where it's not as clear because you're not on the same level. Which is kind of interesting that somewhere along the line we have referred to the lowest man on the totem pole as the weakest link, when traditionally the strongest part of the totem pole would be the bottom. Today, the Tlingit tribe has made a transition from oral stories to a more formal written process. They found this as a necessity for dealing with the United States government relations, in order to keep records of things. That way, the treaties of the past don't somehow get misplaced, or they don't get honored. And they're continuing to fight for their sovereignty, because the United States likes to say that they're a sovereign nation, yet treat them as they're not. The Tlingit tribe has united with the Haida Nation to help preserve their heritage. These tribes are very close in proximity, in just their different heritage and their traditions, so it was an easy decision to combine. And they've created the Central Council of Tlingit and Haida Indian Tribes of Alaska. And if there's anyone who's interested in more information about the Tlingit tribe, I would definitely recommend checking out the CCTHITA website, because it's really great. Tlingits today are a tribe of over 16,000 natives, and many of them have settled in the urban areas, yet some of them still are connected to the land and live rurally. A lot of them work in the commercial fishing industry, However, Tlingit artistic traditions still remain very strong in the Tlingit tribe. And also recently, they have approved a gender neutral policy regarding marriages, which is interesting because Alaska as a state has not approved this, but this tribe has. Tlingit Indians face many issues today. There are a lot of health issues, as with a lot of other native tribes in Alaska. And there's a battle between traditional medicine versus modern medicine. The Tlingits don't like to feel secluded, and they don't want to give the appearance that they are mentally ill if they still believe in spirits, and a lot of them do. So they don't like to venture near to the modern medicine realm. Alcoholism and suicide are also big problems in the Tlingit tribe. And as with many Alaskan groups and Native American groups, a lot of the Tlingit Indians have a very low income. The future for the Tlingit Indians is a very promising future. The tribe has very traditional values, and if the government relations improve with the U.S. government, I think that there is a good chance for a very strong future. There also needs to be improvements in the way that healthcare seeks out Native Americans because of the spiritual realm that they believe in. Tourism is consistently helping support the economy, which is a great thing, and the tribe will continue to live on if the youth are still proud to be Tlingits. And then here are some of the sources that I used for this presentation. Thanks, guys!